This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Sad evening tonight. We're doing our normally scheduled pod, although it's just Seth and I right now in Trent's garage. Trent is currently, I think I can still hear him weeping, although he did mark himself as safe from the Cowboys loss earlier today. You guys may have seen that on Facebook and or Twitter. Jordan, I have not heard from in the last 30 to 35 minutes. He's supposed to get here any minute now. It's just me and Seth right now, getting ready to talk some football. And I think probably most of you are probably pretty excited about that. Would you say that, Seth?
Yeah, they're excited to hear the smartest guys on the pod talk.
Yeah, I feel like we've the weight of
this is a Seahawks pod for what it's worth.
This is a Seahawks pod. The weight of carrying this.
I said it'd be okay, to do a little, prank there. So everybody who didn't turn off the pod after hearing that, just total terrible stuff.
Please come back.
Come back. We're here. If you don't know, we'll post that on Instagram, Twitter at tffdudes. Hopefully you guys will check it out there and be like, hey, maybe I will turn that pod on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Go Hawks.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost, we were moments away from this being called Hawk's Nest, but anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is
that's the pod that Seth and I started that comes out on Tuesday mornings.
Yes, and dudes are not buzzing. I will say,
buzzing.
Not buzzing.
You're a little bit close. Jordan's a little farther removed from the incident,
reality
from that too. From what happened.
No, I
this
think
weekend.
Cowboy fans are a lot farther removed from reality than other fan bases.
I don't know if I disagree with you necessarily. Like, I'm sitting next to a fan right now, and trust me, I've heard this guy's inner thoughts, and they are scary. So I don't know what I'm saying, but it's a rough day.
It was a rough day.
I'm trying not to go so hard.
I'm not like, I don't care the Jaguars lost. Like,
no,
that's a sad life.
Yeah, that's a sad life, and that's also not
no,
true.
because
I saw your TV go to your parents' living room from where I sat.
No. My point is, like, it didn't, like, I was fine. Like, it didn't, like, there's no expectations going into the year.
They exceeded expectations. Yeah,
like,
no.
Cowboys are supposed to win the Super Bowl every year, according to Trent. So,
yeah, that is, like, we did not. Yeah.
And Dak sucked.
This was the year.
It was bad.
This was
like. They're like upset, like they're discouraged, and I'm a Jaguar fan who's encouraged for the future. Like,
yeah.
I don't think Dak can put up like 2 impressive games in a row
because he's not a good quarterback.
He's so mid. Like, that's just the word for it. Just so mid.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Jordan, you are a teacher at a high school.
I know.
You know what mid means.
I actually know what it means, but it's not.
The guy who can't come to 2 podcasts in a row talks about a guy who can't do 2 NFL quarterbacks. Yeah, how was your bunko party with your in-laws?
I actually went duck hunting.
Yeah.
And that was fun. So,
did you have any?
Well, you guys were here in the garage. I was having a great time.
Did you have any incidents?
Yeah, he did actually. He did have an incident.
I did have an incident driving back to the airport. I was not feeling well, and we all know how that went.
Yeah. I don't know.
Remember when he made fun of your tum-tum? He had tum-tum problems too.
But I would have still came to the pod that night.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I would have.
Yeah. There's photos.
Oh, there are photos.
I heard you just, lost your cookies in the back seat. You found a construction worker. You had to beg for wipies and...
Yes, he called me a lightweight. And that had nothing to do with the situation at all. But
and the window just didn't make itself down in time.
Well, it has like one of those child windows.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a van owner.
I'm a van owner.
He's child locked,
do your
obviously.
Vans, do the windows go halfway down or they go all the way down the back seat?
No, they don't. They halfway.
Yeah, so that was the same van we were in. And the doors don't open quick either.
Yeah.
It's a sliding door. I was in a bad deal here, and the driver could not pull over because there was a ditch on both sides. So, I'm like waiting for the window to go down. I'm trying not to just completely splash the driver.
Yeah. Which, are you related to the driver?
I am. And I should have splashed him.
Yeah.
Was
it kind of his fault? Was it kind of his fault a little bit?
I mean, I was like actually doing him like a favor by doing some stuff in the back seat that would actually make you car sick.
Oh, okay.
So like I was, doing stuff for him.
Writing in
He's
his
like,
diary.
hey, can you do this for me? Like, can you do all this? So I'm like, sure, yeah. And then I'm like, oh shoot, like I can't anymore. And then I'm like, hey, you might need to pull over. And then it just bad mess
spiraled.
from there. Yes.
And you were in a rental.
Yes.
Did it all make it out of the rental?
No, not all of it.
Oh man, there's some hefty fees.
Why are we talking about this?
It's a good story.
But it was pretty clean. We took it back pretty clean. Like
that's good. Yeah, that's a good move there.
The only way they could maybe distinguish that it was like bad was maybe the smell.
Yeah. And as long as it was rented to the person you're related to, you don't have to worry about it that much.
Not at all.
So you just found a guy on the side of the road and said, "Hey, do you have any wipies?"
Well, no, they happened to be like working on a power line, like right where we pulled off, like probably like 20 yards, and he just saw me hacking out the window, and they were dying laughing, like they thought it was hilarious, and everyone in the car was crying laughing too. And he's like, "Hey man, like you want some wipes?" I was like, "Please, be great."
And so he gave you some wipes? Yeah. That's a
dude wipes.
Were they really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a Samaritan.
Yeah,
you should have asked him for some crop mop wipes from Manscaped.
Well, just turn them away. Those on him.
You should have at least told him about crop mops
or our 20% discount.
Yeah, because totally
you
in
should
the
have
moment,
offered him a 20% off discount.
In the moment, I was totally
missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. And the thing about when that happens, especially in a vehicle, it's like you at some point you're willing to roll out of that vehicle, no matter how quickly it's going, just to be able to not get it in the vehicle and to just feel better a little bit.
Yeah, the only reason why it actually got inside was because of that half window, and I was not expecting it.
Oh, I get terribly car sick. I hate windy roads. Windy roads are pretty bad if I'm not driving.
Is this the Dudes podcast or like a different word?
This is
like,
sponsored by Dramamine. Just kidding.
I mean, like, come on.
Well, we can recap some games here. Jordan, Saturday, your Jags. I think it was a pretty good season.
Yeah, it was a good season. Like I said, I wasn't really like. I mean, I knew going to Arrowhead is gonna be tough to win that game. I thought they went to Arrowhead, competed, had some chances to win. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, like, this is a team who had the number 1 overall draft pick 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And came back, won 7 games in a row 6 games in a row to win the division, won a playoff game, done 27-0. Like, yeah, I think there's going to be more. I think there's going to be more good times in the future, which I'm excited about. I think we're in a good spot. Jaguars fans are in a good spot with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, and some weapons on offense. Get Calvin Ridley back next year. See what he can do. Yeah, Jaguars are the 24th overall pick this year in the draft. I think it's like the lowest in like a long time for them.
Yeah.
So
when you saw Mahomes got injured, were you like, oh man, we might have a chance?
Were you like crying for him, but also tears of joy that you might win? Because I feel like you were pretty torn with it. These are like
I'm not torn. Like, I wasn't torn at all. Like, I wish Mahomes wouldn't. I was hoping he wouldn't come back in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
But again, like, I almost think maybe it was better for the Jaguars that he came back, because I think he wasn't worse, but like Henny went down and drove down the field 98 yards.
Yeah. So what does that say? Like, does that just say like it's more of the offense than it is Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, it's a system.
It's a system.
I also do think though, like if Henny, I think it took the Jaguars, they had to kind of get used to like it's just a way different defensive scheme with Chad Henne and Mahomes. I think if Mahomes would have been ruled out, the Jaguars would have figured out Henne pretty easily, but. Man, Travis Kelce is so good.
Yeah,
he just gets open.
Yeah. Generally what wide receivers do at times,
But like, he just always, I don't know. It's just frustrating that they can't cover him.
Yeah, and what's the logic when Patrick Mahomes is not in the game? Why not bump him off the line a little bit?
I have no idea.
He gets free pretty regularly. You know what I'm saying?
He's always open.
And I think it's partially because, and I was talking to my dad about this, I think someone has to spy Mahomes a little bit. Like, they have to have someone who's able to kind of spy on him in case he takes off running. But when he's not in, why aren't you jamming him?
Well, he also does a good job of like blocking and then running his route, which I think also helps.
But not a ton in that game. Not a ton in that game. He didn't do a ton of blocking in that game, from what I saw.
Well, it's like it's the block for 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then
it's a slight hole. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. It's like
it didn't look like he was even stopped. I don't know.
And they mentioned it on the broadcast, like they have whole offense surrounded around Travis Kelce. Like, what's it called? Chip blocking, right? Mm-hmm. Like, for like a 1 second and then running his route.
It didn't look like it, but yeah.
That's how he gets open.
It's to give him time and make the linebacker think he's actually not going for a route. Yeah. And then he finds the open thing. He is just a very smart football player.
He's great,
he's with a very smart quarterback, which helps
in a great offense. Like, it's just a total build for him.
A little bit of an advantage. Like, I feel like they talk about, football players playing basketball more than this, but Travis Kelce played quarterback in college.
Yeah, at Tulane.
Yeah,
No,
I thought it was Cincinnati. And I think that he at least played quarterback in high school. So he sees the field a little bit different than most tight ends.
I don't think he played quarterback at Cincinnati. I think you're thinking about Julian Edelman, who did play quarterback.
That was at Kent. I thought Travis Kelce played quarterback in college or got recruited as a quarterback or something.
No, I think you're thinking about Jason Kelce, who was recruited as a running back.
He was a 3-year letter winner at quarterback in high school. He totaled over 2,500 yards of total offense as a senior. Yeah, so he had 1,000 rushing yards and 1,500 passing yards with 31 total touchdowns. So he was like a running quarterback in high school. Mm-hmm.
But then in college,
also played basketball, which I know Phil loves.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that much more.
I think he played hockey too, actually.
He might have.
Not in high school as a kid. He did. I'm sorry, I'm getting stories.
Yeah, I don't know where you're.
Yeah, he played baseball, basketball, football,
and then so Chiefs are going their 5th straight AFC championship, which is wild. I think the Jags, they were respectable in that game, losing by 7. I know Patrick Mahomes said he had a bunch of adrenaline going through him, but
it's going to be harder.
High ankle sprain,
it's going to be harder to play this week than it was probably last week.
So I think that's unfortunate, but what about the Eagles and the Giants? Eagles rolled the Giants.
They're good.
268 total rushing yards, just kind of did whatever they wanted. I was kind of hoping that Daniel Jones would have another good game, just for the sake of entertainment of watching games. The Giants I don't know why they went for it on that 4th down that early in their first drive of the game. Was it their first or second?
Was it 4th and 6?
I think it was 4th and 8. They went for it. They didn't get it. Yeah, it was just a weird. I don't know. I feel like that almost set him back a little bit right there.
I was like I feel like I listened to a lot of sports broadcasters and sports personalities saying that they think the Giants were going to do really good this week, and it was just complete opposite.
Yeah, it was
bad. They looked awful.
Well, and then they say I was reading all that stuff. The Giants had the best 2 interior defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen in football, and they just got owned. They ran all over them.
Well, the Eagles with 3 different running backs.
Yeah.
That Eagles offense is just it's just hard to stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of ways they can go after you. What about Sirianni? Did he compare it to the MJ flu game or something? Compared Jalen Hurts to Michael Jordan?
He did compare him to Michael Jordan.
It's kind of weird.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the other clip about Sirianni that went kind of viral.
Oh, when him
he
yelling
said,
at
I can
the ref.
stand here, yeah.
What he said?
He said, I can stand here, and he just went off on the ref. I don't know.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, can you tell us what are you talking about?
I don't know if it's pod appropriate, Phil.
Oh, maybe I won't.
Maybe yeah.
No, he it may have been the same. He told someone that he knows what he's doing with another word mixed in there.
No, that's the same clip we're talking about. He says he says I know what I'm blanking doing, and then he says I can stand here.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the second
I don't know
part
if he was talking to somebody else or the
he's
referee.
He's talking to a water boy, or what is who's he?
He was talking to somebody or the ref. I don't know who it was.
His what does Sean McVay have? His
get back coach.
Yeah, his get back coach. No, yeah, that game. Honestly, it got, to me at least, it got boring really quickly. It was just this is just...
After they were up by 21 in the second quarter, I was like, man, I'm not watching anymore.
Can we go back to the Jags-Chiefs game? More about the Chiefs' trajectory, and maybe we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but a high ankle sprain is not...
No, not at all. It's not good.
Yeah, you can get a shot, a painkiller type shot, but and from a high ankle sprain, he'd be able to play easily next year, but he was still... I mean, he probably got a shot at half, but he was still kind of not 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, no, and even the Cowboys, that was a heartbreaking game, but Tony Pollard broke his leg.
Yeah.
It wasn't an ankle. It would have been hard to win.
He actually broke his leg.
Yeah, he broke his leg. So, and I feel like the Cowboys actually had a lot of plans that they were going to use.
I think Pollard was going to have a big game.
That's what I thought, too. So that was definitely a big loss there.
Yeah,
because Zeke also is not good.
Yeah, when he's by himself, man, he's not good.
Yeah, he's 3 yards and that's it. Rough game.
It's not, but yeah, anyhow, I
Jordan, when you lose a bunch of money betting on the Super Bowl, I just can't wait to just rub it in on you. Because you know what? This has been one of the worst days of my life. And here you are
gosh.
I did buy a pair of Cowboys.
Jerry Jones, what are you doing?
No, Trent, the best part is that you're going to be rooting for the same team that I'm rooting for in the Super Bowl. because you're not going to root for the Niners or the Eagles.
Oh, I am so.
Oh wait, you're kind of a Niner fan. I kind of forgot about that.
I probably will go. I honestly, I will hate it, but I think
You know
Burrow.
what,
I
Trent?
think Burrow's going to beat the Chiefs.
You were making fun of me for like the Chiefs and the Jaguars. You're basically in this. You're a Niner fan and a Cowboy
I'm
fan.
a realist. I'm a realist of when I see good football, I'm not going to just say they're no good just because I don't like them. I've always said the Niners are a good team.
So who are you going to go for?
I'm going for the Eagles.
Bengals.
You're going for Bengals.
Okay, now what if the
Eagles.
Chiefs win?
Well, if
What if it's Chiefs Eagles?
let me say this: if Mahomes wins, are you going to say he's the best quarterback ever? Because if you say that, I can't do that. Because like that's a silly argument. You made the thing that when Mahomes played the Bucks that he was the best quarterback ever, and it's like
That's true.
No, he's not anywhere near Brady. And even if he wins 2, are you going to be like those Marino guys, like, oh, he's the best quarterback ever because he won 2 Super? No, like, so that's my take. If you're going to say
Marino
that,
didn't win any.
I know he didn't win any, but there's still. And hey, he probably is one of the most accurate passers.
I said
ever.
Mahomes is the most talented quarterback ever.
Okay,
We may have to find the tape on that. You got a lot of shade during that time.
yeah.
But I will say, we may need to watch that Bengals and Chiefs game. Last year when we watched it,
And that was
Bengals
yeah.
won.
No,
P. Ryan
Trent,
had
but
that
Trent.
huge
So
tackle.
Chiefs Eagles. Who are you rooting for?
I think I would go for Chiefs there.
There
Like
we go.
I hate both of them though.
I am it's as much as it pains me to say it, I think I am going for. Actually, no, it doesn't pain me at all. I'm going for the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win. I think the Niners are going to win, and I'm going for the Bengals for sure.
I will be rooting for whoever comes out of the AFC.
Yeah.
Because I like Joe Burrow and Mahomes.
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase. I'm a big Jamar Chase guy.
I'm a firm believer in like. Here's my take on Dak Prescott. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I think he's a terrible quarterback for the amount of money we're paying him. Like you can build around quarterbacks if you don't have to pay them these max contract deals. Like how the Niners and the Eagles have quarterbacks on rookie contracts. It's a big advantage if you can win with teams like that. I don't think.
Well, it's what the Seahawks did with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, it's like I don't think Dak's I don't think Dak's great. I don't think he's terrible though. But it's also like for the amount of money we're paying him, he needs to win games like this. Like you could build around a quarterback a lot easier if you don't just give him everything like that. We have 2 really bad.
So if you would have lost, but you're paying Dak on rookie contract to make you feel better?
I think we could put a lot more talent around him, is what I'm saying.
But all the talent that you have on your team right now is talent they acquired when Dak was on rookie contract.
I know, but you could have like maybe kept Amari Cooper. You could bolster up the defense. You can do a lot more if you can just keep everybody kind of the same base.
Or they could just not have paid Zeke Elliott what they paid Zeke.
Well, that too, yeah.
I think you just cut Zeke.
But like, look at the Eagles' offensive line. They can pay all those guys really good money with.
Well, they're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts at some point.
Yeah. And probably quite a bit of money, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think that window closes so much more when you do that. It makes it a lot harder.
Well, yeah, it's easier to like, but like the
What's
money.
interesting is the Ravens basically did not do that.
I mean, they were good. They competed in a lot of years.
But they didn't. I mean, they didn't take advantage of it.
The Cowboys need to take advantage of this while Micah Parsons is on the contract he's in, and that's ticking.
But Trent, I also think to your point. But I think the point is that Dak's not a good quarterback. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Is really your point? Because if you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, you'll pay the guy whatever he wants, and he's still going to take you to the Super Bowl. Or Joe Burrow.
When did Patrick Mahomes, like he might win this year, but when did he win his last Super Bowl? Was it on his rookie contract or when he was?
Yeah, but they've been to
expensive?
5 straight AFC Championship games.
Yeah, and that's
but
a
like
good deal.
Burrow's the same way. Like Tom Brady got paid a lot of money, and he kept going to the Super Bowl.
He did do that thing where he took, he restructured his contract a while.
But he got paid. He was getting paid still a lot of money.
Yeah.
My point though is that like the elite quarterbacks, no matter how much you pay them, are gonna they're gonna be worth their money.
Yeah.
Your point is that Dak is not good, and so
he's not an elite quarterback, and he's getting paid elite quarterback.
Yes,
That's the
money.
problem.
That's what you're frustrated. He's not gonna win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
This was a winnable game that we just totally squandered. The first pick was one thing, but the second pick was really bad.
The second pick was really bad. And I don't think you can say, like, nothing that happened in the beginning of the season really impacts his play currently. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, his hand is fully recovered.
He also
for the
just
most
makes
part.
bad decisions.
The decision making is the biggest problem. Like, I think he has some, he makes some decent throws here or there, but the decision making is just what totally costs him.
And is it, I'm not trying to just, bag on your boy here, Trent, but does he have, like, the most blank stare look And do you know what I'm saying? After he throws a pick,
actually might know what you're talking about.
He has the most, like, it's not like he's not sure if it's his fault or the wide receiver ran the wrong route. Like, usually you'll see something out of a quarterback will be like, no, like, you ran the wrong route. With him, he's like, yeah, that's 100% on me.
Did you see his face?
It's just dead. It's like a dead face. And
did you see his face today when, like, he almost threw a pick on the last drive that, like, basically the first play, and his face just like yeah, it's the blank look, like, oh, like
it's almost like he wished.
I got away with that one. Right there.
That was an awful throw.
Yeah, it's like it's almost he definitely wants a lot of them back. But just, we're talking about Texas. We're talking about, the great state of Texas, delicious barbecue down there. Do you mind if I do a quick ad read?
Sure.
I'm going to do a quick ad read here. So the dudes are huge barbecue fans. I think you guys all know that, especially our true fans. And what does a good piece of barbecue meat need? A trimming, right? You trim a pork belly, trim that fat off. You trim a brisket really nicely just so you can make sure you get the delicious bark and everything you're looking for. So, barbecue you're trimming. Being a dude is no different. That's why there's Manscaped. Trim off all the unwanted stuff and keep the good stuff. No nicks here, my friends. Manscaped.com and use the codes DUDES20 for 20% off. We've been using they sent us a package here. I have the
weed whacker right there.
I have the weed whacker right in front of me. I said this on our last draft or a draft two weeks ago. That thing, like, having nose hair is one of the most underrated kind of gross things about people. What are you going to say?
And no
Seth?
one likes to pluck nose hairs. Like,
No,
before I got that, I had to pluck nose hairs, and it is painful.
Yeah, most people do that to stay awake.
I am tearing. My eyes are tearing.
It'll bring a grown man to his knees.
That is, the ad read just wrote itself with that take right there.
Yeah, so I love that weed whacker. That thing is awesome.
The weed whacker is a nice addition to your prep for the day, right? Whether you're jumping on a phone call where you have to use video, or you are talking to someone face to face, like making sure that the nostrils are clear of debris is a really big deal. So
we're not trying to look like old men out here.
We're not trying to look like old men. So clean that up. Dudes 20% off. Great products. Let's get back to talking sports here. So Jordan, you look like you're dialing up some stats you want to just.
No, have you guys seen the video of the guy who turned $5 into 72,000?
No.
I saw it.
The video. You saw the video of the guy?
I haven't seen the video.
I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, the guy. It's like this guy's probably in our age. Like, looks like he's in a house. Almost looks like he's in a college
He kind of looks like Seth.
Yeah, it looks like Seth.
So when you say our age, that ranges drastically. I'm like, do I look older than Seth?
I look like a college frat house.
It just looks like he's like, there's a bunch of guys. There's different rooms.
That's probably what they thought you were.
So the video is the videos of the Cowboys game. Dalton Schultz, and he's watching it, and he just goes, they lose it. I mean, obviously turned $5 into $70,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to just say the whole Cowboys team, just boneheaded play after boneheaded play. Dalton Schultz running backwards to get out of bounds, keep the clock going. Dalton Schultz not catching that pass into the game. Yeah. Doesn't get 2 feet down, routine catch. Diggs just dropping a pick that would have changed the whole game. Just, little gift to him. Diggs not hitting George Kittle hard on that one-handed catch. It's like he's totally avoiding the contact. Like that could have been
though. He does he does.
Oh yeah, but it's like right there. If he could have knocked that ball out, it might not have taken that much to make Kittle not make a one-handed catch.
No, yeah, for sure.
He totally makes it look like Kittle olays him. It's like, no, you just took a terrible angle on that. Like,
so you closed your eyes.
Yeah, I don't know, just frustrating.
Could I have knocked the ball out of Kittle's hand coming in hot?
You would
have done better than that.
You would have to crawl off the field after.
Hey, which Tony? I
don't
can't
blame
compare
anyone
myself
for
to
not
Tony Pollard.
You can't because he
broke his leg
and walked off.
No, he crawled for like a good 5 to 10 yards, which is how far I was from the edge of the field.
But
let me just say this: what about the kicker? Do you think Do you think Seth could have made some of those kicks?
No.
The extra point, yes.
No, they would have blocked it or whatever. Like,
I could 100% made the extra point.
Here's the thing, I didn't even get
46-yarder? Heck no.
I couldn't even celebrate after the Bucs game. You know what I mean? Like, because that was a Monday night game. But yeah, Marr, that just a horrible, bad deal.
He's bad. It's like when
Is he coming back?
I think they'll let him go.
Well, no, Seth. Who was the kicker? We played Minnesota in that freezing game, and the game on the line, they were down. Minnesota was down by 2, and they put the kicker in, and he just shanked that ball. Cam Chancellor jumped over the top, but Chancellor didn't even touch it. The guy kicked the ball way left.
Wasn't that game? Wasn't there like 3 missed field goals?
There was,
to like keep
we
the game
picked
going?
up that guy the next year, and he did the exact same stuff for us several times throughout the year. Anyhow,
Jordan,
he will get picked up.
Talking about Dak, what I did like is he finally was feeding CeeDee Lamb the ball today. Like, CeeDee had a good game, but it's like, dude, you got to throw the ball to Gallup more. Like, it was almost like they had all these plays for Pollard, and Dak didn't know what to do after that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Defense played a great game. Dan Quinn, I wouldn't mind Dan Quinn being the head coach for Dallas. I think
that's what I was going to ask you next. What about McCarthy? Are you fed up with the guy? He actually.
It's hard to fire a guy after back-to-back 12-win seasons. I know they hired him to win Super Bowls, but it's like you went 12 games back-to-back.
Well, he figured it out with Cooper Rush.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't even know, like, I'm in a bad place right now. Like, I need to reevaluate the whole team. I need more time.
There were people are asking to interview Kellen Moore. Am I wrong?
I don't think Kellen Moore gets a head coaching job. Do you think he's that good, Jordan?
Maybe I misread it. I thought people were asking to interview him, but I could be wrong.
I think they did, but like even like that trick play at the end of the game when Zeke hiked it, like it was just
weird. Like what was going on there?
Just a weird.
They called a timeout and still lined up.
Hey, I'm just enamored with this guy who turned $5 into $70,000.
Yeah, like you even look. What's his backstory?
He's from Indiana, and it looks like he's like 21 years old.
Yeah, 22 years old. Pays for his college, probably.
Yeah, he tweeted, for anyone that's saying it's not life-changing money, my loans are now paid off, and I'm debt-free. Life-changing.
Did the $70K hit his account right then?
Yeah, it would depend on what it looks like. It was on FanDuel. So, yeah, you can withdraw that stuff. I mean, you can withdraw that stuff as soon as you... I mean, obviously, it's probably in his account, but he's going to be able to pay his loans off.
Yeah. He will get taxed.
Tomorrow,
he will get taxed. Yeah. I mean, you get taxed on that.
This guy's being a little exaggerated.
But yeah, so he's like a college kid. Like, that's a big deal. Can you...
it is.
Oh, yeah.
Why have you not given us any of those? That's
because
my problem.
we all vote... California voted no on Prop 27. We have to bring that up again, Phil.
Yeah. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, the dude's favorite place to play DFS. You pick 2 to 6 plays, and you can win up to 30 times your entry. Just you versus the projected numbers. Promo code dudes really helps us out there. But what about like Josh Allen? Bills did not look good. Didn't even look like they came to play. You had a snow game, home field advantage.
DeMar Hamlin was in the building. Yeah. Like,
you couldn't even see him in the thing though. I couldn't see him. Well, they kept showing him, and with the snow, all I could see was just his figure.
Yeah, you could see like his. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
see him at all.
Honestly, if you would have told me, Jordan, before, like we do our,
I was on the Bengals winning.
Yeah, like, you were, but and we'll do our picks for this upcoming week too. But if I didn't known the game was snowing, I actually think I would have went to the Bengals because Joe Burrow, just from Ohio, he's definitely played in more snow games than Josh Allen. I know Josh Allen did play college in Wyoming, but. I think that would have made.
You have a point. You have a point there.
Did you see Stephon Diggs?
I just think that they're better. I think the Bengals are better.
Bengals are good.
Man, they just continued to
like Joe Burrow's that guy.
Yeah,
like,
he's that guy, huh?
Yeah, like he's the real.
I saw the video of him throwing the ball and then like spin after. See that?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. He throws a pass like T. Higgins in warm-ups, and while the ball's in the air, he spins around and walks away and doesn't it's a completion.
Like he's just an insane pass too.
Yeah. But what about Stephon Diggs? You hear that he cleaned out his locker and left before the coaches got
but
in
then
there?
McDermott said that he was there for his post-game speech. Okay. So he's emotional. He's frustrated.
So you think people are saying, "Oh, yeah." I don't know.
He was pretty fired up. Like he
had 4 catches for 35 yards.
Like, and then Gabe Davis had that one drop. Buffalo, that's an inch. They're often, honestly, what's impressed me the most was the Bengals' defensive line just owned the Bills' offensive line.
Yeah.
They just
I'll be honest, like, Josh Allen is kind of regressed this year.
Well, and it's been since that shoulder injury or elbow or whatever it is. Like, I do think he's hurt, but
not Liz Frank. That's a foot injury. What's the...
That's the UCL.
UCL.
So I don't, like, he has not looked the same since injury. So I don't know if there's a surgery he can do or what he can do.
I mean, there's a surgery he can do, but he'll be out for
like next year too.
Yeah. Might not play ever.
Well, he got the bag, so.
Yeah, but he'd like more bag. I'm sure he'd like more bag and a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah. You'd think so. He just probably doesn't want to build a golf course in Fireball with that money.
Pistachios.
Yeah.
No, so that was unfortunate. Like,
It's a bummer.
That
man.
game was kind of boring, to be honest.
it was boring.
For me.
Like, other than
I had the Bengals. I was backing the Bengals. Like, I was happy they were winning, but like, it was also like there should have been more offense. Like, the Bills just didn't do anything, and it was frustrating.
It was also snowing.
But like, snowing's doesn't really hurt offense. Like, in fact, it probably helps offense because it's harder to tackle in the snow.
yeah. No,
It's statistically, snow
Yes,
helps offense.
Like
it doesn't
for running,
hurt
but
offense.
not passing. You think it's easy?
No, it does not. It does not. Statistically, snow does not hurt offense.
Rain is probably worse, right?
Rain is worse.
it.
It's the wind is what really affects offense more than anything.
Wind, rain, maybe
But like
severe snow.
rain doesn't like statistically doesn't affect off. It's the wind that affects offense.
They say the offensive line has a pretty big advantage in the snow too,
Yeah, it
especially
helps
running the ball
yeah.
because just knowing the plays and stuff. But yeah, the Bengals defensive line looked really good. They were really
They're playing really good football at the right time. It's that Chiefs Bengals game is going to be a lot of fun next week.
Yeah, if Mahomes can play good.
I'm just assuming that Mahomes can be effective. Like he's gonna throw a lot of quick passes and yeah. I mean, if Mahomes is not effective, then yeah, it's gonna be
Because Mahomes has never beat Burrow.
This is if the Bengals make it to the Super Bowl, I think there's a higher likelihood that they win this Super Bowl than they win last year's.
I agree.
Yeah, their offensive line's a lot better. Their defense and Eli Apple, like everybody hates him, but it seems like he plays really good playoff football other than the Super Bowl versus Cooper Kupp, like.
And he's gonna he'll have AJ Brown that he has to deal with, of course, but he's also a different wide receiver than
yeah,
Cooper
but
Kupp.
he's Devonta Smith too.
Yeah,
Bengals
Bengals
Chiefs
Yeah.
are the late game next week. So
And those are both on Sunday, correct?
12 Pacific time and 3:30 Pacific time.
Perfect. We might need to get together and watch those. That would be fun.
That would be fun to watch the Bengals. I think the Bengals Chiefs one is the one I'm
Yeah.
most interested in watching.
Yeah.
Niners Eagles fine, but
Yeah.
then we'll get together for the flag football game the week after.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got our prop show coming up for the Super Bowl. That's one of our favorite shows of the
good
year.
one.
It'll be fun.
Phil's 2-year anniversary on the pod, so that's always
2 year,
special.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So we got Lamar Jackson. Ravens said that, he's their guy. It's what they're looking like. He'll be in talks with the OC. They'll ask him for who they hire and everything. But let's get into before we get into and you saw like Saquon Barkley said he doesn't want like record breaking. He doesn't want to set the running back market.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
Interesting.
keep them all there.
Did we talk? We didn't talk much about where Daniel Jones goes or what happens. Is it
We
too
did that a
early?
little bit last week, and then I think it's
probably enough.
So, yeah, going to be a fun offseason. Aaron Rodgers, they said that they think he's most likely getting traded this offseason, or they wouldn't be surprised. So it'll be a fun offseason. Stay with us the whole time. But
Another offseason where we're going to be talking about Brady and Rodgers the entire time.
Exactly.
This might be the last summer that happens.
I can't imagine a summer without that, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Should we get into our divas here? Then we can do our picks for next week for the NFC and AFC championship.
Sure.
All right. So let's get into our divas. Before we get into our divas, whether you hate the people in your life or you love them, you should tell them about the dudes. We bring people together. The highest compliment our dudes can give us is a referral of their family and friends. Just remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Also sign up for our dudes letter. And it's going to be bi-weekly this end of the year with the Fantasy Dad. So go sign up for that at www.thefantasyfootballddudes.com. But we'll be coming to you guys all year round. Divas, do you guys have a diva you want to go with? You want me to start this thing off?
I don't mind starting with mine. I told you a little bit. It's not great. It's not.
Yeah, go for it, Phil.
It's not great. It's not terrible, I don't think. And I mentioned I was talking to it about with some guys before I actually got to the pod, which keyed me into talking about it today, is like self-checkout.
Yeah.
Self-checkout is number one, the worst. And number two, it's the worst because I think the information is oftentimes inaccurate. And number two, it's like oftentimes broken.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think they were trying to do this to speed up. They were trying to do this to speed up the lines to help people get through. But I think what they didn't realize is it's not someone who's actually trained on the equipment that's going through the lines. And then number two, it's like the machine automatically thinks that you're trying to steal, a pack of gum every time you're walking through it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you take off a pack of gum. I'm checking out my items. I'm going to take off a pack of gum, open it up, give it to my kids so they'll stop running around a little bit. And then the whole screen freezes, and you have to wait to someone to come uncheck it because they think you're taking a checked item off the bag. Do you get what I'm saying a little bit? Have you ever used one of those, Jordan?
I think it's user error.
No, not at all.
It happens to me a lot too.
It happens.
I have no issues with self-checkout. I love self-checkout. I think it's awesome.
In theory, I like it too. But I think I have done it perfectly multiple times, and there will still be errors like user info needed or store code needed. Like those types of things happen to me all the time. So I think those things are total trash. I get the store code
all the time.
They're as bad. I said this already. They're about as bad as the McDonald's ice cream makers. 90% of the time, they're just not working correctly. You know what I'm saying? Or not working at all.
See, that is not my experience.
You could use McDonald's ice cream makers as a diva. Just put that up your sleeve for a future pod.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you sell self checkout at all?
My experience is probably more along of Jordan's. Like, I really don't mess up that much. And usually when I do mess up, it's something that I probably did, or it's like, maybe it's like, I'm probably 75% like I go through really quick.
Yeah, I'll take the extra 5 minutes and just wait in line.
Like I was really annoyed one night when it's like they had the self-checkout wasn't even open. And I had to sit.
You want to know why it wasn't open? It was broken.
Yeah, that's
no,
why.
That's exactly.
It's broken.
After a certain time, it's not open.
So why is it not open after a certain time?
I don't know why, but
because they think you're going to steal stuff going through those lines. That's what I'm saying. The self-checkout line.
The thieves are the real divas.
That's also true. The thieves are the real divas. And then also, if you're like that worried about it, like, just have someone monitoring the area.
What thief goes through a self-checkout though? Like if you're just going to steal, just go.
Oh no,
just
I know.
Take it out.
I have heard people. So here's what I've heard. I have never done this, nor would I do this, nor would I recommend doing this. I have heard there are people with, if you go to like a Whole Foods, you can get like the bagged items and you put like the Target, like the code on it, and then it's per pound. Like people switch out what that is so they can pay the lower cost. Like if you, instead of like, you have avocados that are like $3 a pound or whatever it is. Maybe it's not peak avocado season, a little pricier.
You say you bought bananas.
And you say you bought bananas, you weigh it on there. And then it gives you a cheaper deal, yeah. This is the world that we live in, guys. It's embarrassing that you guys aren't aware of this. But anyhow, that's one of the reasons why we have
you guys live here in your little glass houses, it's pretty pathetic, honestly.
Yeah. If you get out in the real world, like
I just never would have never crossed my mind to do something like that, Phil.
It hadn't mine either, and then someone told me that, and I'm like, wow, that is sad. Anyhow, that's all I'm saying. Like, I think that like probably the best run and probably the best operating one is the Costco one. Like the Costco one, you get pretty quick. It does not mess up. Not all self-checkouts are created equal. I just wish the
Costco one had cash. Can only do card.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean,
but no, cash isn't fast though. Like if you're doing self-checkout, makes sense.
But cash is king.
Cash is king. That's for sure. But the thing is,
self-checkout.
I don't know if I like.
How are you not punched in the face every hour?
Totally deserve to be punched in the face for not agreeing that cash is king.
And the other thing I would say is like,
got a crypto guy here that lost half of his income in the past 6 months. Keep living.
The other thing I would say though is like
your tinfoil hat on.
I'm not trying to out you here, Trent, but it's like I don't like if I'm taking a Costco trip because it's somewhat far. Like Costco trips are usually pretty expensive for my family. So I don't like carrying around that much cash, just in general.
Trent just goes to Costco for the hot dogs.
Yeah.
I love those things, man.
And to pull out more cash.
He's like, oh, it's 12 o'clock. Let's go to Costco.
I agree with Phil, though, on this because I get user errors a lot when I use it.
Yeah.
And
not surprised.
Then I have to wait. The whole system shuts down. It's like I just put one thing on there, scanned it, put it down there. I don't know why you have to come enter a code. And I don't know if it's like every 5 people they have to come check or whatever. And then I hate that I have to put how many bags I want to buy because you have to buy bags in California.
Put 0.
How about just don't? You don't know. They don't even have bags there for you to grab.
It's true.
It's true. Clearly, I'm not buying any bags because you don't have anything here. So just don't even put it on there.
You have to, and sometimes you have to do it twice. You'll press 0, then you insert your card, and then it asks you again. It's like if I answered it no earlier, I shouldn't have to answer it again.
It also should be if you buy more than $40 worth of groceries, they should give you free bags.
I'll agree with that, but that's not like the self-checkout problem.
But we have to pay 10 cents a bag.
You got to do the same thing when you go through the line too, though.
I agree.
I think he's just.
But
saying
I don't have to say. I don't have to say no.
I
tell the person no bag. They don't ask me.
So
3 times.
your diva really is the California government, which we don't need to go into. But
no, the self checkout. It's not where it needs to be yet.
I disagree, but.
Well, you just said it was closed the other night, so I guess you.
Yeah.
So 1 out of 10 times it's closed, but that's not.
That's 10%.
10%.
If the store's open, the self checkout should be open.
Yeah, if the store is open, self-checkout. But that's not what you're... And also in California, just for what it's worth, you can't buy specific things while going through the self-checkout, where in other states you can. Just for what it's worth.
Well, I know what you're referring to.
Tylenol is what I'm referring to.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I went.
What did you think I was referring to? Don't answer that question.
Okay, my diva of the week is all of these people that I don't talk to on a regular basis, and... Yeah.
Who asked you for fantasy football advice?
No. The Dallas Cowboy haters that just have to text me one time a year. Don't even talk to him. But, hey, man, Cowboys lost. I got a call from a guy. I haven't talked to him since last year when the 49ers beat us in playoffs. Phone starts ringing when the clock hits 0. It's like these people come out of – the freaks come out at night, apparently, But, yeah, so all these people that are just, I'm the only person they think of when the Cowboys lose, or they have their list that they just go down. It's like, hey, man, it's like – hey, my brother-in-law is a Chargers fan. I don't, brother-in-laws are supposed to make fun of each other. That's one thing. I had a Chargers fan that, I didn't even, just sends me a text like, haha, Cowboys lost. It's like, why is a Chargers fan talking trash to me right now? Like, man, I'm not related to you. Like, what's going on here? So just all these people that are like,
that was his wife.
No, wasn't her. She was very caring and compassionate.
Yeah.
So
wiped his tears away.
Yeah. So no, it's just like the people that, they aren't even 49er fans, just the people that just want to go out of their way to make fun of you for, your team losing,
Yeah.
So, and the Dallas Cowboys have a lot of those, but hey, it's probably rightfully so. So the Cowboy Texers that just come out of the woodwork, the Stephen A. Smith type guys that just are there, just like going to light you up. I probably have, 15 unread text messages from people I didn't talk to from a year ago. It's not just Niner fans, it's everybody.
You get that with both teams, though. People also love when the Dodgers, probably not as much as they love when the Astros lose, but they love when the Dodgers lose too. Like you're probably getting it, in all ways. You know what I'm saying?
I got my Dodger hat on. I'm just football season's dead to me now. So no, I'm just. But,
catchers report to camp in a couple weeks here.
So
pitchers, catchers.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Just the guy that's like didn't have a dog in the fight, just wants to text you like, "Hey, your team lost. You guys are garbage. Whatever." You know what I mean? Like where it's like, "Hey, man, aren't you a?
Didn't your team lose last week?
Yeah, did your
You're
team
a Raider
make playoffs?
fan.
Like,
You're a Raider fan.
Exactly. Like, hey, how's Russell Wilson working for you guys? It's just like, why are you texting me? But
that's Denver. But I get what you're saying.
Well, I was just throwing in the type of fans that have been texting.
Oh, yeah.
That's really all I was doing.
So there's a Denver fan that texted you.
Yeah. But I will say there was one Raider fan, and he married my cousin. His name's Coleman, and he could have, when I was down, he could have, put the knife in my back, or whatever. He could have.
Yeah, but he texts you all the time.
He could have kicked me while I was down. You know what he did after the game? He texted me, "Hey Trent, sorry for your loss. Maybe next year." Class.
Sounds like pretty backhanded, though.
Say what you want about the Raider fans. That is pure class right there.
That is definitely backhanded class.
I took it as class, though. Like, hey, man, sorry for your loss.
Well, I was with him when you texted you that, and he was just like, oh, man, I'm going to make this idiot's day. No, he didn't say that.
No. That also wouldn't surprise me. All right, Jordan, what do you got
I'll be honest, I don't really have a good diva. I don't want to force it, so I'm gonna come back strong for next week.
Okay, just punt. You're going to punt.
I'm going to punt. All right. I don't want to force anything.
I was hoping you'd do like a trick play by like Kellen Moore or something here. I don't know.
Kellen Moore.
Where Zeke snapped the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a trick play or
that was kind of weird.
A little fakerooski or something. I don't know. Like I don't have a diva, but I do. Seth, do you have something? People who get car sick. I don't know.
Child locks.
Child
lock windows for
windows that only roll halfway down.
Yeah, and also for what it's worth too is that Yeah, the child lock on like the car seats, or like when the
You're in a
seatbelt
car seat?
locks up. No, not the car seats.
Boosters.
When the seatbelt locks, like okay, it's definitely for safety, but like when the seatbelt locks and I'm like trying to do stuff and it's like, can I freaking move? Like I can't move out of my seat when it's like. I don't know. That was
That's
it. That's because I couldn't lean out the window because the thing was locked. I was like, I couldn't get out the window.
We really need to put a camera on you, man.
No, we don't.
Stinking window because the thing was holding me strapped to the chair.
So are you? How long do you think?
I don't even know what that diva was that he said.
Locked,
Child locked,
seatbelts.
People who get child locked over the age of 19 is what his diva was.
So how long do you think it's going to take you to recover? Like by Thursday, will I be able to send you a text with a response, or like
I don't even want to say anything because I know the floodgates will just open up again. But yeah, I'd say Thursday's probably good.
Or you'll be done.
But here's the thing. I got to take notes now. Like, hey, you wronged me, so I'm going to send you a text next year. I'm going to send you a text next year. Hey, aren't you a Blue Jays fan? I don't know. Like, I got to.
So yeah, that's wild.
So random.
So if these people text you when the Cowboys lose, but then they text you happy birthday next year, does that make up for it?
No, it doesn't.
Or like happy anniversary?
Because Trent doesn't want those birthday texts anyway.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
So
or like the random Saints fan that just sends, like go Niners. It's like you're a Saints fan, like it's just.
I think people just like making fun of it. I think people just like when the Cowboys lose.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Yeah. They
and
do.
you're like Jerry Jones in this town, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I am the Jerry. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
No.
Don't go there.
Yeah, it's just kind of a. Yeah, when the Seahawks lost, I don't think anyone texted me, but I've only been cheering for them for like the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty heartbreaking. I feel we should have a moment of silence for
No, let's not.
Cowboy fans are just treated so poorly all the time.
The pity party Trent's throwing over here is driving me crazy.
The problem is that Tony Romo, like, I think people didn't feel bad for Tony Romo, but I actually feel bad for Dak. Like, I actually like Dak.
I might walk out of this pod any second now.
Oh, man.
Can we just pick?
Wouldn't be the last time.
Yeah, make all of our listeners' days, Jordan. There's the door. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's get into our NFC, AFC championship picks here. And let's recap what we got here so far, too, Jordan.
So, through 2 weeks, I am 8-3. Trent is 7-4. Phil is 9-2.
Wow.
And Seth is 7-4. So like week 1, Trent, you went 6-1.
Yeah, I had a bad week.
And then you went 1-3 this week. Phil went 4-0 this week. You got all 4 games right. So I don't know what you just did over there, but yeah. So it looks like Phil's up 1 game on me, and then yeah.
If you want to see what Phil did, you can just go to tffdudes on YouTube. Also follow us at tffdudes on Twitter and Instagram.
It's a typical celebration.
Yeah, just a little point up. So yeah, let's do our picks here. I'm gonna say Bengals win. I'm gonna go Bengals, and I am gonna go Niners.
I am going Bengals, and I'm also going Niners. Niners.
Bengals, Eagles.
Jordan?
Man, I wish I knew if Mahomes was going to.
It's tough, yeah.
But you know what? I can't. I gotta stay on brand here. I'm going Chiefs. Chiefs and Eagles.
Is he the greatest quarterback of all time?
He's the most talented quarterback of all time.
All right.
I'll stand by that. I really think that.
I believe you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was an awkward
of our
moment
era or of all time. Do you think
most talented
of all time?
Of all time. Who do you have someone else in mind that you think?
I think if you want to just go pure talent, people might say like Jeff George. I'm just kidding. No, I'm saying what? Didn't people love Jeff George and the combine? And stuff?
But I mean, I'm talking about a guy who actually has won.
Yeah,
he's been to 5 straight AFC championships.
I think people might throw Marino in there. That's the only one that would also come to mind.
Most talented or most athletic? Which would you say?
I think he does things on the football field that no one else.
Did you say most talented or most athletic?
Most talented.
Most talented.
You put the arm talent, you put the vision, the athleticism, like all of it combined.
I'm waiting for Phil's left field thing. He's gonna say like Rich Gannon or something right now.
Jake the Snake, maybe.
Well, he was gonna counter
Michael
me with
Vick.
He's just counter Michael Vick if I was said most athletic. I know that's exactly what you were gonna say.
How good was Vick, man? Oh man,
Those are so
we'll continue.
Love Vick.
This conversation is going to be continued when the Chiefs win on next week.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Well,
Michael Vick is such a stud.
Well, hey guys, we got our draft will be coming to you on Wednesday on YouTube, Thursday wherever you listen to podcasts. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. We will see you later this week, and then we will have our recap for the AFC NFC Championship next Monday as well. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.